Hi everyone, and welcome to this tutorial on linear programming, which you'll need to know for your assessment. Okay, pause the video so that you can read the question and have a go at it yourself before we get started. The first thing I want to do is define my variables in this problem, which will be number of scoops of chips and number of pieces of fish. The next thing is to look at my constraints here and here. And we can see that I need to produce at least that many of each item. So my constraints are going to be written algebraically as x, which is the number of scoops of chips, must be greater than or equal to 100. And you see this constraint comes up here as a shaded region. Similarly, y, the number of pieces of fish, must be greater than or equal to 40. My maximum constraint down here means that I need to produce at most 500 items. So the total number of items, which is x plus y, number of chips and number of fish, must be less than or equal to 500. We have our feasible region here in this shaded triangle. To make that really clear, we're going to reverse the constraints. But before we do that, let's take a screenshot of the correct constraints, including my definition of variables. And we'll put that in our Google Doc over here. And you can use this Google Doc to submit your assessment. Everything that you need is in here. Now that I have the correct information, I'm going to reverse all of my constraints to create a much more clear feasible region. And I'll take a screenshot of that as well. And that can go just below my equations. Don't worry about the formatting, we can sort that out later. Now what I want to do is create a table that generates my maximum profit. So in here, add item, add a table, get rid of the ones next to x and y, and I'm going to put in each of my coordinates of my feasible region. So there's this one here, 140, so just write 140, and you'll see that a green dot comes up at that point to show that it's correct. This one is 100, 400, so 100 and 400. That dot comes up, and the last one is 460, 40. One of these points will be our maximum profit point. So to figure that out, I'm going to write in our profit statement algebraically from this text here. So $2 for every scoop of chips means 2 times the number of scoops of chips, which is x. You can deselect this point, you don't need it. And $5 from every piece of fish plus 5y. And as we can see, it generates the profit for each of those points. So this one here, 100, 400, which is up here, generates the most profit at $2,200. So you can just write down here or in your Google Doc. I'll do it here for consistency. Make sure you're doing it as a note. The shop should sell 100 scoops of chips and 400 pieces of fish to make a maximum profit of $2,200. And I'll now just take a screenshot of that, including my table, because that shows my profit calculations. Put that down here. There we go. So I have my equations, I have my feasible region with coordinates, I have my table with working, and my final statement. And that's all you need to do.